What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today I wanted to do a technical analysis video on the SPY and sort of the overall market, because what we've seen over the last few days after that FOMC move has been very interesting, and in my opinion is doing nothing but setting up the next larger move on this market. There are some very key levels on the SPY, one of them being 518, which I will show you in today's video, that really could be setting up what we love to see, and that's that break and retest long entry. Now, of course, the analysis that we're going to talk about in today's video can go both ways. If these levels that I talk about in today's video, these demand levels, if they do not hold, right, this could also be a reason to be looking for further downside. So either way, key levels approaching here on the market, an interesting drop into end of day today, and I think you're just sort of fueling up and preparing for the next bigger move here on the market, and I want to make sure that you're aware of the levels to be watching. So some SPY analysis in today's video, also some concerns on the NASDAQ that I want to make sure you're aware of as well. Definitely has been a little bit of a choppy week. It's been a little bit difficult to read some of this action, and I hope that in today's video I can clear up some of the picture that's been going on. So I hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy the technicals. Press that like button, subscribe. Let's jump right into it. All right, guys, so here is the SPY ETF on the 4-hour chart. And if there is one thing that is apparent on this market as of right now, it is that previous highs have turned into new lows as this market has moved higher and trended higher. There is one thing that has kept this market trending to the upside, which is what happens in trends: previous highs into new lows. And if we go all the way back to the beginning of this year, you'll see how this occurs. So right here, previous highs right here, turning into new lows, creating more upside. Previous highs right here, into new double bottom lows, creating more upside. Previous highs right here, turning into new lows, creating more upside. Here's some new highs that turned into new lows, creating more upside, right? Look at how this has happened every single time. Highs, highs, previous highs, right? That happened to turn into lows, 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 and lows. And so every time the S&P has had a high, a pivot high, it's broken above it, retested it, turned it into new lows, right? This is how the market trends higher. And this is exactly potentially what we are looking at here again. We had previous double top highs here on the SPY right here at $518 per share. We have broken above that level on FOMC, and over the last few days, we are trending down lower into that level. And just end of day today, we tapped that 518 level, and we saw some of that bounce come in off that level. This is going to be the major thing to be watching tomorrow. We have previous highs that we are testing right now on a break and retest potential long, right? If this market wants to maintain in this strong trend, this is what we're going to want to see happen. We can once again sort of analyze this going back. Previous highs, 1, 2, previous highs, breakout, pullback, hold, and long, right? That was your previous high. We broke out above that high. We pulled back to it, and we held it again, right? The stair-stepping formation to the upside. And if we zoom in here on the 4-hour chart and get this a little bit closer, we can see just how clean this could potentially be. We have previous highs. Is this our new low? And is this where we are looking to set up the next long entry? Must watch here on the SPY tomorrow. This is very, very crucial and something that I've been looking and waiting for the SPY to pull back into. Now, there is one thing that I will say that could be a small caveat to this plan. If the SPY does break and hold back under this 518 level and does not hold above that double top high, we could be looking for a retracement back to this daily 20 SMA and this 515 level. This would fill that move from FOMC. It would come back down to this demand, come back down to these previous highs, and come and match where that daily 20 SMA is, and possibly that could be the long entry to be watching, right? Right in this area here around 515. So there are two levels that I think you have to have on your charts heading into the end of the week and into basically the next however long we're trading up here. You have to understand that we have previous highs at 518. That could be your next demand spot to look for longs. If you break under that 518, this could be your reasoning for some short side plays into the 515. And why I believe the 518 to 515 could be such an aggressive downside, right? Because we have to make sure we're open to both sides. If we break under this double top high right here, I would assume it gets very aggressive to the downside and very quick back to these levels right here, right? We are not going to see support step in under 518. If we fail 518 on the SPY, we should see a very aggressive drop towards that 515 and towards that 20 SMA. Now, before we get too aggressive on that short side idea, we need to once again understand that this is a previous high at 518, and this right now, what we've seen over the last few trading days, could just be sort of that retest slide, right, back down to that 518, creating a little bull flag and that next long opportunity off that level. This is a major watch and something I wanted to get in a video quickly today because there should be some opportunity here, right? And if this market wants to continue this uptrending move, this is going to be a very interesting potential long spot. If it gets deeper, you're looking at 515. Now, I want to talk about one thing that puts a little bit of question in my plan here on the S&P. There is one thing that makes me question this idea just a little bit, and that is right here on the NASDAQ futures. We have now seen after today maybe you could call it a quadruple top at 18,625 on the NASDAQ futures. This is now very, very apparent. We have now seen 4 failures to move higher at this 18,625 level on the NASDAQ futures, and that's slightly concerning for that SPY continuation move. If the NASDAQ is unable to get above this sort of quadruple, triple top high, whatever you want to call it, this very clear supply level, I feel like it could get a little weak up here, right? We have definitely seen the failures here. We have definitely seen the inability to break above, and that's slightly concerning for the bulls. Now, the thing that is holding up the NASDAQ futures as of right now is this 18.4 level. So if you want to see this market continue, in my opinion, if you want to see this market continue higher and try to test this 625 level again, right? If you want to see if this can test and hold above this 625 level again, you must hold 18,400 and this daily 20 SMA. I do not think the NASDAQ can continue higher in the short term if we fail under this 18.4 demand. We have very clear 18.4, 18.4, 18.4, 18.4, 18.4, and here on Monday of this week, 18.4. Here today, 18.4 again. We must hold 18.4 on the NASDAQ futures for this upside to potentially continue, right? I think a fail under this 18.4 and a fail under the daily 20 brings you back down to these channel lows. And if that's what the NASDAQ is doing, there is little to no chance that the SPY is holding, or the ES is holding 5250 and the SPY is holding 518, right? If that NASDAQ fails, down goes the ES with it. So we need to be watching that 18.4 in the NASDAQ futures, and we need to be watching that 518 on the SPY tomorrow. Big levels. I hope that this quick recap gives you an insight into the market. I would watch this on the longer term. I think there are potential opportunities on the longer term. If these levels fail, just know that it's very interesting to the downside as well. Under 518, under 18.4 could get a little bit weak, and I would be making sure you're open to both directions off of these key levels. Quick technical analysis video for you guys. I hope it did help you to try to clean up some of this price action over the next few days. If you did enjoy it, press that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.